Thalasken Lake is one of the prominent landmarks on the highway in Jaintia Hills. A perfect rectangle, the lake is a legend in these hills and believed to have been created by a historical character, Sajar Nangli, a commander of the Jaintia king. He and his followers, apparently using just the end of their bows, dug the lake from one end to the other. It is a popular picnic and fishing spot in the middle of picturesque green fields and rolling pine-clad hills. From Thalasken we continue a journey on the newly constructed Joai bypass. The two-lane highway is a smooth and enjoyable cruise of about 8 kilometers. All along the way, there is one thing that will remain in the minds of the traveler, and that is the breathtaking scenery. Besides the abundant natural resources, Jaintia Hills is also blessed with a beautiful natural landscape. East Jaintia Hills is in the backwaters of Meghalaya. Endowed with vast reserves of coal and limestone, it is home to the maximum number of cement plants in the state. Today, we move to a village which is the best kept secret in tourism. After the refreshing ride on the bypass, we make a brief stop at a traditional kitchen to try some ethnic food. Hot rice cakes or putharo, served with do snyang neyong or pork cooked in sesame seeds, is a delicacy in these parts. This is the traditional kitchen which serves these rice cakes, which are made from rice, and which serves the local delicacy, which is the meat dishes, which is cooked with sesame seeds. Cooked over firewood in traditional kiev or shallow black earthen pots, the rice cakes eaten with the pork is a mouth-watering experience that leaves a pleasant aftertaste on our palate long after we leave the place. We were now crossing over to East Jaintia Hills and would probably have to cover another 40 odd kilometers to reach our destination. The landscape along the way shows a few traces of the once hectic activity that used to be carried out in this region. We were passing through the coal belt of the Jaintia Hills, but there were hardly any signs of coal mining activity. The roads, which used to face regular traffic congestion because of the long line of coal-laden trucks, were now empty, and the bazaar of Lat Rimbai, a once bustling marketplace, were quiet with most of the shutters pulled down. After some time, we reach Kleriat, the busy district headquarters, and take a detour from the highway to the Deputy Commissioner's office. The district head or deputy commissioner, Mr. Maham Singh Loit, is one of the founding members of the Jaintia Tourism and Environment Society, an NGO which has been doing a lot of groundwork to promote tourism in Jaintia Hills. Most of the popular destinations in Jaintia Hills today had been the initiative of the society. Bap Maham is presently working on promoting unknown tourist destinations hidden in East Jaintia Hills district as part of an effort to generate alternative means of livelihood for the communities residing here. After more than 2 hours on the road, we moved down to the limestone country where Lumshnong village is located. This village is strategically located. It is known for its natural wealth. All around me, you can see the cement industry. This is the center of the cement industry in Meghalaya. And to my left, the Narpo Wildlife Sanctuary. But unknown to many, this village sits atop a world of its own. Lumshnong is at the center of the cement industry of Meghalaya, and it has 8 cement factories within a radius of 2 to 3 kilometers around it. The huge limestone deposits have room for another 20 cement plants in and around Lumshnong village. However, the village, unknown to many, sits atop a hidden labyrinth and maze of passages that have fascinated speleologists or cavers. The National Green Tribunal, in short NGT, which imposed a ban on the unplanned and unregulated coal mining activity, had struck a huge blow on the economy of the district and the state. The effect of the ban was written large on the faces of most of the people that we pass by today. It was the rampant coal mining that polluted the habitation downstream which triggered the NGT ban. The economy is limping back to normalcy. As the wealth generated has come down to a trickle, people are looking for alternative means of livelihood, in particular tourism and allied sectors which have a huge potential considering the fact that there are plenty of tourist destinations in the Jaintia Hills. Lumshnong is home to one of the deepest and longest cave systems in the Indian subcontinent, the Kotsati Umlawan Cave Network, which is 21.5 kilometers long and 100 meters deep. In 2008, the Department of Border Area Development, in an effort to make the caves easily accessible to tourists, had constructed a footpath to the cave complete with stairs and railings. We walked down the stairs to the bottom of the cave entrance, in which a pool of water had collected. To access the inside of the cave, one had to swim across the pool below and surface on the other side. This is Kotsati Cave. It's located in the middle, in the center of Lumshnong village, and it's connected to many more caves in Lumshnong. And to get across, you have to wade or swim across this river. We did not have the gear to explore the inside passages of the caves, so we just spent some time admiring the ancient beauty that had been carved out millions of years by the torrential rainwater. I was in awe of Mother Nature. It was eerie and surprisingly The coolness in here had a calming effect on me. A nice feeling of being lost in the lap of nature, far away from the madding crowd of the city. Lumshnong village has some 6 caves and a network of river and cave passages under it. For cave explorers, this is like a gold mine. Umlabit cave was our next stop. Passing through the village, we noticed that the houses were concrete structures indicating the relative prosperity of the residents who have benefited from the cement industry. We climbed down a flight of steps constructed under the Border Area Development Scheme. The entrance seemed small, but on entering it, the cave opened up into a wide passage that led into a hall-like cavern. Water pipes scattered on the floor were used to extract water from the streams inside the cave. Krem Umlabit, which was much easier to access. We entered the cave into a subterranean world which opened up into a hall-like corridor, unique with sculptures within its walls and a river flowing through the passage. It is home to bats, spiders, crayfish and fossils. Once inside, the walk through the dark gallery lighted by our head torches was a fascinating one. We are inside Krem Umlabit, or the Labit cave here in Lumshnong, and I'm standing here. There's a tunnel that goes on and on and on. This is a universe of its own. There are more than 1600 caves that have been discovered in Meghalaya. This region is truly a caver's paradise. Cave tourism is a viable source of livelihood that could help preserve the environment against the onslaught of unregulated and destructive activities of man. The cave systems in Lumshnong area are constantly threatened every day by the blasting of the limestone quarries. Cave tourism, properly planned, may offer a ray of hope for these fragile ecosystems. We move on to the other side of Lumshnong, where locals are busy in the day-to-day activities, constructing footpaths under the popular MREGA scheme of the government. The rural populace has benefited substantially from the scheme, while assets and public amenities are being created across the rural countryside in Meghalaya. To cover the entire cave system of Lumshnong in a day or two is an impossible task, so we explore the more easily accessible ones. Kremlabit is some distance away from the neighborhood. A properly constructed footpath leads to the entrance of the cave, which opens to narrow sculpted passages different from that of the previous caves. The cave entrance, a mass of rocks and stone surrounded by massive limestone walls and an overhead ceiling. These caves are still untouched by man-made structures as in other tourist cave destinations. We are at the entrance of the upper chamber of Kremlin, and what you can see behind me is the result of the action of water on limestone for millions of years. We move cautiously, measuring our steps in the dark corridors while admiring the beauty of the carved walls, a result of hundreds of years of water action on the limestone. One would never survive if he or she gets lost in these pitch-dark passages. None of the caves in Lumshnong show any signs or traces of any human habitation. Probably the fact that these caves are inhospitable and that they get flooded during the monsoons are some of the reasons for their isolation. Caves are incredible repositories of hidden information of the evolution of planet Earth in the stalactites and stalagmites that go way back millions of years. In one of the caves, Kremliathati, an elephant had fallen through an opening on the ground, and that was how the cave got its name. Liat being the local word for fall and Hati meaning elephant. Apparently this area had a huge population of elephants not very long ago, before the limestone mining started. Today most of the elephants and other animals have almost but disappeared. Lumshnong sits atop 6 caves connected to one another by a network of corridors and passages. We move next to the famed Umlawan cave. It is situated besides the highway behind a number of houses. We cross into the backyard and walk down to the narrow opening of an entrance. I'm standing at the entrance of the longest cave in Asia. This is Umlawan cave right here in Lumshnong, and it runs for 25.6 kilometers inside. Inside, it was a world of its own. Fascinating silhouettes and shapes adorn the cave walls and appear from nowhere when lighted by our head torches. You can hear the water behind me rushing through the passages which are more than 100 feet deep. And you can see around me, this is a work of art, and the artist here is the water. Frankly, I'm not a big fan of the dark cave passages, but with good lights and proper gear, cave exploration can be exciting and a whole new experience. Caving is a niche tourism product in Meghalaya. This natural resource can be marketed into a major tourism attraction. I have to admit that I was glad to walk back into the comfort of the blue sky and outside world after spending some time in a pitch black environment. After the thrilling caving experience, we decided to move some 2 kilometers away from Lumshnong to a place that is located besides the infamous Lucca River, which was in the news because of its water changing color, allegedly due to pollution from chemicals flowing from the cement factories and the coal mines. The river looks pretty normal today, and I walk across the bridge to drown myself in the beauty of the scenic landscape surrounding the river Lucca. This river used to be a favorite destination for anglers. It is no longer the same today, as man's activity has come with a price. Only the concerted effort by the authorities and the communities living here can help save the river and its surrounding lush green hills. Development comes with a price, but with the advent of tourism, there is a ray of hope. This is Ian signing off. Until we meet again in the next village.